in combating new account fraud, which pieces of information indicate synthetic ID fraud or identity theft? So it's a great question, and it's not surprising that it's been surfaced. I think, especially during this time of economic distress, many companies really pay more attention to new account fraud, because new account fraud is pretty much impacting your growth capabilities, and many companies changing the strategies that we've seen in the recent years from growth at any price to really smart and strategic growth. And I think it's also important to separate the answer here to synthetic fraud and identity theft, because these two are essentially two different things. But I think in general, when you think about what strategy you would like to have for new account fraud, for me, I think collecting the maximum amount of indicators during the onboarding journey of the customer is the most essential and critical thing you can really do here. Your goal should be to collect all the different PIIs, all the different elements you can understand about the prospect or about the potential customer, and then start evaluating them separately one by one and trying to understand the associated risk with each and every element. So for example, we can take all the PIIs and first try to identify whether or not this identity is real or is not real. But the second part is, now we need to identify whether the person who actually going through our onboarding journey and trying to onboard to our platform is the actual person who using the PII present. So here comes the place where you try to really understand the associated risk with each and every risk signal that you get. So what is the associated risk around devices? What is the associated risk around the phone number that's being used? The email, the geolocation, the IP, everything you can collect during that journey, and you can process that with your identity verification vendor, will be the keys to success with having less new account fraud.